Hello and welcome back to another episode of ReelTV. I'm your host, Connor.
And I'm also your host, Eric Dowling.
Okay, Connor Smith, didn't say my last name.
Sorry.
But on our show, we report and discuss the latest movie news. Today we're talking about Golden Globes nominations, which came out last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometime last week. And there were a lot of really good things and there were a lot of really bad things. And Eric has a lot to say. So why don't you kick it off with all your different things
All
to
right,
say.
so first off, I'm more or less okay with most of the categories. The one that I had the most issue with was Best Drama category, and I'm really focused on the movies. I think the TV shows, like more or less True Detectives is going to win more or less anything that it's nominated for. Yeah. That's my opinion. That and like Mad Men. They're going to just sweep.
Mad Men wasn't even nominated for Best Drama.
Yeah, and it wasn't even nominated that much, which I was really surprised about. But, so if we want to go over the list, I'm just going to steal this for a second. Boyhood, Foxcatcher, Imitation Game, Selena, and The Theory of Everything. Selma, and The Theory of Everything. So these are all I'm just not even going to go out on a limb. These are all relatively small released movies. None of them are like big name movies. And I think that at least Gone Girl or Interstellar should have been recognized in this capacity. I think that one of them was definitely worth mentioning because they did such a fantastic job of representing their subject material, especially Gone Girl. I've heard very few complaints from people that have read the books that it didn't do the book justice. And the amount of research and everything that went into Interstellar should really be commended, and I think it needs to be recognized, and more than just the nothing that it got. Because like Christopher Nolan wasn't even nominated for Best Director. And like that's my biggest issue, is that a movie like, I'm going to steal this again.
Uh-oh, here we go.
A movie like Grand Budapest Hotel. And I have said on this show many times how Wes Anderson is one of my favorite directors. So me to speak out against him is kind of, a big deal. I know. So I think that Wes Anderson really didn't change his style all that much. Like, he didn't do anything super adventurous in this movie. Like, yeah, the sets were cool, the colors were amazing, everything was really good about the movie. But from terms of best direction,
it's nothing as ambitious as Interstellar was for Nolan.
Exactly. And like that movie did something that no other movie has done. 2 studios produced this movie and it was released via 2 studios, and it's filmed on 70 millimeter film. It's super high quality.
No green screen.
No green screen. Everything was practical effects. It was shot like the old school Star Wars with little tiny model spaceships on like a black background. And like, I think that's something that the Academy and the Golden Globes board didn't really take into consideration, or maybe they did and they just didn't want to recognize it.
I just think that like, it's hard because there's only so many spots. And I think Oscars, it has a good chance, but when there's only 5 spots,
and there's 7 for the Oscars.
There's 10 potentially, but it's been 9 in the past couple years. I have not seen 3 out of 5 of the nominations. I've seen Boyhood, which is an amazing movie, deserves all the attention it's been getting, and Theory of Everything, which is good. The performances are great, and I think that's the standout in the movie. The overall movie itself, I would probably want Whiplash, Interstellar, or Gone Girl to have that spot over Theory of Everything. But it is very Oscar baity. It is very Oscar-y. But
because I think it's just like, what was that Michael Fassbender, Keira Knightley movie where he's Sigmund Freud? You know what I'm talking about?
Michael Fassbender.
Dangerous Method.
Dangerous Method. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Because that movie, I think that's the exact same, Oscar bait as A Theory of Everything, because it's just kind of like, it's about this really super well-known white guy that is, really nerdy and really well-respected in his field, and they're making a movie about him using British actors.
No, like it is, I've seen it. It's powerful. I think like this is gonna sound super corny, but it does. Like when he is up there giving a speech toward the end of the movie, like it is very inspiring. It does make you sort of like, there's a scene in the movie where he's on the beach and just him like putting his feet in the water, something as like nothing, not a huge moment, but something subtle like that really just does. It is a movie that does make you appreciate life, like as corny as that sounds.
That's Eddie Redmayne, right?
Eddie Redmayne, yeah, and he was nominated And the two frontrunners in Best Lead Actor are him and Michael Keaton for Birdman. I think it should be Michael Keaton. And also...
Although I really think that that's funny how, like, Michael Keaton...
Batman. And,
like, the connections between Michael Keaton's character in Birdman and, like, Michael Keaton in real life are really funny.
At this point, Birdman's my favorite movie of the year, hands down. I love it. I think it's something that's... It's so thought-provoking. It's so different. The one shot, the way that they do it so that the whole...
I didn't
it's
see it
almost...
I want to...
dreamlike in the way that it is so immersive and how it's all... That's not really a spoiler. It's just the way it's done.
Yeah.
The movie appears as if it's all done in one shot, which is incredible.
I want to know why Frank wasn't nominated for anything.
I didn't like Frank.
I
watched it the other day. I didn't like Frank.
I heard that like Michael Fassbender was like captivating. Like he was like the best part about that movie.
I think he was good. I don't think he was like Oscar worthy, award worthy. Like I liked Frank, but like, you know, I don't know. I feel like you can say that someone's good, but like there's only 5 spots.
Also, I want to know why Andy Serkis still is not being recognized.
Andy Serkis for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Tilda Swinton for Snowpiercer. Those were like the 2. And the lead actress from The Babadook, she was amazing too. Those were like the 3 that I was like, I would just... And Scarlett Johansson for Under the Skin. Anything Under the Skin. It's like one of my favorite movies of the year, and that's got nothing. Jake Gyllenhaal, even though he was nominated for Nightcrawler, he was amazing in this movie called Enemy. That was just so good. That really didn't get anything.
Jennifer Aniston being nominated.
Okay, it's called Cake. I have not seen it. Apparently it's great.
Okay.
But I'm pretty happy with the Best Comedy Musical. The one that I was like, I kind of wish we were on there was Begin Again, with Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley, because I loved Begin Again. Like I thought it was just a great movie.
I'm shocked Skeleton Twins is
I have not seen that. I've heard it's great.
It's
like on my list.
Yeah, I mean Ryan was talking about it and said how he loved it, but like that's Oscar bait too, because I mean Kristen Wiig is like everyone loves Kristen Wiig except me, but like
I haven't seen it, so I don't want to like call it Oscar bait, but there were a lot of like dramas that didn't get it. But I think like there wasn't a lot of competition in Best Comedy Drama. I know Into the Woods got a nomination. Pride, which was kind of a surprise. I've heard Pride is very good. What were the other ones for Best?
Musical?
Grand Budapest and Birdman. Those are like the 2, but I think Birdman's going to take it.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Last year American Hustle won, so Birdman's a great step up.
Yeah, and I mean, Wes Anderson and Christopher Nolan just are not loved by the Academy, and I think that's really sad because they are fantastic directors and they need to be recognized. And like Christopher Nolan really hasn't won anything. Like it's him and his brother for Best Original Screenplay for Memento, and that's like the only thing that they've won ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about animated feature films because I think this is kind of an interesting category. I think the 3 very hands down biggest ones are Big Hero 6, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and Lego Movie.
Lego Movie's gonna win.
I have a feeling Lego Movie will win.
I have not seen The Book of Life. I know that was nominated. I've heard it's great. I've heard I thought it looked awful. I thought the trailers looked so stupid, but like, apparently it's great. I have not seen it though. I'd like to. I liked Big Hero 6. Box Trolls was really good. It's by Laika, and they did Coraline and Paranorman. There it is, which were both great. I think Box Trolls was a really great movie.
On a final note though, I want to talk about how Interstellar snubbed from Best Screenplay. That's what I think of that list.
Wow.
Interstellar should be nominated for Best
You
Original
can clean that up.
I will clean that up.
All
Best
3
Original
papers.
Screenplay. Interstellar. I don't understand why that wasn't even nominated. That's, I think, a travesty in itself. But stay tuned. We got more discussions, more trivia, more news,
Eric's
more
butthurt,
Real
but
TV.
a wambulance is on its way. A complaint train. I said that the other day.
I'll take more cheese for my whining, but
okay. Well, we got to wrap it up.
Yep.
But thanks for watching. Have a good holiday, and we're gonna bye. See ya.
Welcome back to Real TV. I'm Lindsey Lane Lorifus.
And I'm Adam Murray.
And today we'll be talking about the holiday movies that are coming out.
Woo,
yay! So first up, December 19th, my birthday, we have Annie coming out.
Is that a good birthday present for you?
I think so. I mean, it'll be cool. I love movie musicals, of course.
Me too.
You know, I wasn't really too fond of the earlier Annie movies because typically they were always shown in my music class when my music teacher wasn't there, and it was always like such a letdown.
Yeah, and
you
it was
know,
like just forced upon you
like,
too.
oh, we have to watch this. But I really have high hopes for this. Jamie Foxx is in it, and you know, everything he touches turns to gold, basically.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different approach to it. I think it'll be interesting to see how audiences react to it. Because it's not like it's supposed to be more like the storyline. I think it seems like they're focusing on more than like the actual music part of it. But it'll be interesting to see how the two kind of go together.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then The Hobbit's coming out. Have you seen the first two?
Oh yes.
I saw the first one. I still haven't seen the second one. I'm really excited about like the third one though, because I heard the second one's awesome, and I heard the third one's going to be even more awesome than that. So I'm really excited for that.
I can't wait for the soundtrack. That's always my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the first one with the hum, with the dwarves song, so good. But I think with The Hobbit, I think Peter Jackson really pulled off taking away from what Lord of the Rings was and making his own little other universe. I know some people actually criticize that, but to me, I think that's actually an advantage that he has, because like now in the first one he establishes a new area, like a new Middle Earth per se than what we were used to in Lord of the Rings, kind of like a more lighter version, and then he kind of just played along with that and made it a little more darker. And I think a lot of people, it was easier to believe going into The Hobbit than like the Lord of the Rings and stuff. I know people try to compare them, but I think separately they're both really good. What else? Oh, Night at the Museum 3. That is the most important one that we all have to talk about. I'm just kidding. Is it? I think it's one. It's definitely one of Robin Williams. Excuse me. One of his last movies. So it's kind of sad, but I don't know if it is his last one or not.
Definitely bittersweet.
Yeah, I liked the first two. The first two I love. I think the storyline's so clever. Everything is just so, I don't know, it's just good family fun.
It is. It's such a creative way to bring these historical figures to life, and kids can become familiar with that.
Yeah, exactly.
That, you know.
Yeah.
Rebel Wilson will be in it.
Yes.
And she's my girl.
Yeah.
Love Rebel Wilson. Oh my gosh. In Mean Girls, she was perfection. So, not Mean Girls. What am I saying? Bridesmaids.
I was saying, wait a second.
Not Mean
What part
Girls.
was that?
Oh my God. No. Mean Girls is my other favorite comedy. So, Bridesmaids, of course. She was wonderful.
Oh no, in Pitch Perfect.
And Pitch Perfect as well. So
Was she in Bridesmaids?
Yeah, she was in Bridesmaids. She had
Oh
an
yeah,
English
she was.
accent.
Yeah, she was the one that she got the tattoo
really,
and the peas.
she was wonderful. Oh my God.
Yeah, she was really funny.
That'll be great.
Okay, now we have the Christmas releases. There are a couple of them. The first one we have to talk about, obviously, is Into the Woods.
Oh my gosh, Into the Woods.
It looks
am
so
out of my
good.
mind excited.
First of all, Meryl Streep's in it. If I ever met Meryl Streep, she's the only person I would probably cry in front of. But second of all, she's singing in it, and I thought she was awesome in Mamma Mia. And I think Into the Woods is just going to be so good. And
Johnny
awesome.
Depp is one of my all-time favorite actors.
Anna Kendrick's in it.
He originally wanted to do music as a career. It didn't pan out, and this is a great way for him to really get into that.
He was great in
I'm
Sweeney
so happy
Todd.
about
Sweeney
him.
Todd was awesome.
Exactly,
that was another Sondheim musical, and I think he really he fits the part of Sondheim musicals really well.
Oh, definitely. So creepy.
Rob Marshall's directing it. He directed Chicago, so that kind of like gave me a little hope. I know they probably will change it just because it's Disney.
Yeah, it's rated PG,
Yeah,
which
so-
I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting, because
Yeah.
in actually watching the musical, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that it's
no, it's not.
PG.
No, don't.
But
no.
yeah, that'll
It'll be
interesting. To see.
And then another one that comes out is An American Sniper. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Oh my gosh.
That looks really intense, really intense. And I'm a huge fan of Clint Eastwood as a director. I really liked Hereafter. Gran Torino was
Gran
great.
Torino.
What was his other one? Oh, he just did Jersey Boys. I haven't seen that one yet, but I think it's interesting how I like how he does different things with each of his movies. Like they're all very different in their each respected ways. I think American Sniper is going to be. It looks so thrilling, and I think it'll be on kind of like contrasting what Christmas is about. You know, it's like happy,
definitely.
but then like American Sniper.
Yeah,
stuff.
and same with Unbroken. I'm excited to see Angelina
Oh
Jolie's
yeah, that's how
new
she's
movie,
going to do with that. Yeah, that'll be really interesting because I've heard mixed reviews coming out of that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be one of those. I think audiences will like it, but critics probably won't like it as much. The production value's there, everything. I think the star qualities. That guy is supposed to be getting like rave reviews about.
Oh my gosh, Jack O'Connell.
Yeah, I've never really heard of him before this movie, but I mean, I'm sure he's been in
But
shows that I've seen. But
good things for him coming his way, that's for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's a big step for him.
Yeah.
Going like a big Christmas premiere and all that. What else? What other ones? Can you think of anything else that's coming out Christmas?
I think that's pretty much
Yeah,
it
that's
for
pretty much the
Christmas
majority.
Day,
Yeah. Oh, the one with Tim Burton. Tim Burton's
Oh, Big
new
Eyes.
movie. Yes, with Amy Adams and Christoph Waltz. I saw the trailer for that, and that looks really. It actually, because Tim Burton usually has the weird that weird sense of imagination, and I think this one has that, but this one also has a sense of like not weirdness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because usually, like,
Tim Burton himself, like, he's such a dark person.
Yeah.
I went to an exhibit of his, and it was interesting to see his drawings and things that he did even when he was like 13, and how those emotions really stayed with him throughout his career, and they like translated into Frankenweenie and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it's neat how he's like carried that with him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That might be an underrated one that comes out. I think it'll come out, people will love it, and then we'll see where it goes.
I'll be crossing my fingers for
It
him.
is set up to be a great holiday season in the movies.
So please go out to the movies and enjoy times with your family.
Yes. I'm Adam Murray.
And I'm Lindsey Lane Lorvis.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more from ReelTV.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another segment of news with PSNtv ReelTV. I'm Con.
I'm Gabe Cohen.
And I'm Lindsey Lane Lorvis.
And we have a lot of very interesting news stories for you guys. The first one being, I'm just going to toss this one in because it's like very interesting. They're doing a Ghostbusters reboot with women as leads, and they're currently considering people like Jen Lawrence, Emma Stone, and Melissa McCarthy for the main roles.
I think they're all great choices. They're all hilarious. I'm a huge Jennifer Lawrence fan. Just seeing her, like, not even in a movie, just her personality, she's hilarious. And Melissa McCarthy, of course.
I'm really curious as to how it would be with Melissa McCarthy, because I feel like she would really shine in this kind of movie.
Like she'd
just
be the
because
lead.
looking back at her, like, I don't know, awkward roles in like Bridesmaids and stuff like that, I can like see that personality coming back, where she's like kind of like weird, but like super in a very hilarious way.
Definitely. Out of the three, I really do hope it is Melissa McCarthy, because I'm kind of getting sick of Jennifer Lawrence. You know, she's always making these
see a
jokes
lot of her.
on the red carpet, and it's like, okay, there's a time that we have to be professional. You know, I appreciate her lightheartedness, like that's great, but at this point, I'm kind of ready for a new change in her.
I can see McCarthy taking on like kind of the Bill Murray role, being the lead, and then everybody bounces off of her, works with her in the movie.
Yeah.
But I think there's a ton of potential.
True that. Moving on. Next big story is, so Spider-Man, the franchise, is currently owned by Sony. And Marvel really wants to buy it back so they can start filming again. However, if they do buy it back, they're going to do a whole new cast, and they're thinking of taking out Andrew Garfield. And what do you guys think about this? What will change? Did you like Andrew Garfield in his role?
I really did enjoy Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, and his chemistry with Emma Stone
Was great.
second to none. I think he's a great actor. Loved him in The Social Network. I really like where he's going with his career, and being Spider-Man, I think he should hold on to that role.
I really liked him too. I also did like Tobey Maguire when he was in it. So I don't know. I could see Andrew do it again, but maybe it is time for a change.
That's what I feel like. Like, I love Tobey Maguire in it, and I liked him more than Andrew Garfield, I have to say. And I kind of want Andrew Garfield to change as well. But that's just me. Moving on from that, new story. Legendary Pictures officially told us that they're planning on making a new King Kong movie called King Kong Skull Island. And it's in the works, projected to be out in theaters in 2017. How'd you guys like the last movie? How do you think that worked with it?
I love the
for a
last
new
one.
one.
I love the last one. I thought the special effects were amazing. It was action-packed. I love Jack Black in it. Adrian Brody, he's a great actor. Naomi Watts was the leading lady. She was the damsel in distress. And I thought it was really well done. And if this Skull Island is anything like the first, I think it's going to be another incredible addition.
Plus, who doesn't like watching King Kong? I mean, it's been how many King Kong movies has been out there? I don't know,
Started
but
in,
there's
like, the
quite a lot.
20s.
Yeah, and I've seen like probably about almost all of them, and they were all just so entertaining.
Yeah, I'm not a big action movie person, but I
Yeah.
really love the King Kong movie. So,
It's just a great story.
definitely.
I think so.
And then moving on from that, Legendary Pictures also told us that they're planning on releasing Pacific Rim 2, Godzilla 2, and a new movie called The Great Wall. That's the largest film ever shot entirely in China, actually, and that is about the Great Wall of China and a special task force that saves that. But going back to Godzilla 2, how'd you guys like number 1?
Loved
really
it.
cool.
Loved it.
It was
so
really
much.
cool.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was a little longer than it needed to be, but I hope they kind of like
Kept my attention.
I know. I liked how they brought in other like super creatures, and Godzilla was the good one. They like at the end of it, you like Godzilla just because he's so.
You're rooting for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're exactly rooting for him. That's so true.
And even just the other storylines within it, like my heart was always rooting for
Yeah.
the main character, and when he saved that little boy, and I was
Yeah,
just
it
so
was like-
excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was just. Such
And one
a
thing about all these movies, these are major motion pictures, big budget. Legendary Pictures is just
Going
making
all out.
movies that are bigger than life, and
then-
I respect that a lot.
Pacific Rim Any thoughts on that after the first one? I don't know if you guys saw it.
I like the first one. I mean, if Idris Elba is in it again, I'm with it. You've got my vote 100%. But it was, the special effects were out of control. It was a lot to handle. But at times it was a little too much.
It was all special effects pretty much.
It was cool to watch. It was a cool premise, and I think I'm very curious what more they can even do with the second one. But who knows? Maybe we'll find out.
Moving on from that, current news that's big. Exodus has topped the charts this week with $24.5 million box office revenue. And the interesting about this is there's a new thing that's coming out and seeing that Ridley Scott directed this. We were just talking before this that they're in the talks for making a Blade Runner 2.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford in it.
May sign on.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the first one? How'd you like that one?
It's a classic science fiction movie. I loved it. We've talked about it a lot in the film theory courses that I've taken. And Ridley Scott's one of the greatest directors around. Like, he did Gladiator. That's probably top 5 favorite movies of mine.
True.
Yeah.
And I just think with Exodus, the special effects in that and just the storyline, I have not seen it yet, but I'm very excited to see
I have a lot of faith in that movie too.
his rendition of the story of Moses. So
What's your thoughts on having all these new biblical movies out recently?
Well, I'm a personal fan of it. Noah came out. God's Not Dead. Oh my goodness, yeah. So I feel like it's taking a new trend in today's world.
And you're always going to get a lot of criticism. There's always going to be criticism when you're dealing with Bible stories.
Haters gotta hate though, you know.
Right.
They always do.
Exactly.
Motion through.